All right, can you both hear me?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
All right. Let's see. We'll take up file 2016-54178. Michael Dragon and Samantha Miller both are here via Zoom, and this is the date and time set for hearing in this matter. It was set for hearing by a friend of the court to address an objection to the support review filed by Mr. Dragon, the plaintiff. Ms. Hummel is here from friend of the court. Ms. Hummel, do you have an update in the matter?
Yes, the recommended order was done per the 3-year required review when there's public assistance on a case. The review, the parties sent in some information. Defendant's not working, but she does have a work history, but she does not have anything that prevents her from work. So she was put in at minimum wage, 40 hours a week. And it comes out to $209 child support, $26 medical support, effective February 1st, 2023.
All right, and sir, you filed the objection. What was the reason for objecting?
With the parenting time that's ordered 50-50 custody, I don't see why the matter is why I paid child support to Samantha. It's been 8 years. I think that this is plenty of time to get yourself on your feet, find a job, and better your situation for yourself and your child.
All right, how much have you been ordered to pay?
Is $209 plus the $26.
No, not the recommended amount going forward. Up till now, have you been ordered to pay anything, or has it been at zero?
I've been paying this whole time. Yes, it went from $209 or the $226 down to $88 that I've been maintained paying.
You've been paying $88 per month.
Current. $69 current, $19 child medical support.
Okay. So you've been paying the $88. Now it's recommended that it go up some. Has your income or anything changed in that time, sir?
No, if anything, it should have probably went down. With COVID, I wasn't allowed to guide on the waters in 2021. Last year, I was injured. I had 4 fractures in my shoulder. I sustained that in January, and it put me out of work until April.
Oh, okay. Ma'am, you're not currently working?
I'm not. I'm trying. We're in front of you 2021 for the whole school thing. It's really hard driving McKenna to school at 8 a.m. and picking her up at 3 to find childcare, and my schedule is a mess. So I'm trying to find something that fits it.
So what are your thoughts on the support recommendation?
I'm just going with what the court decides. I will do what I have to do otherwise.
Were you happy with the old amount, or do you agree with the new amount, or are you indifferent?
I'm indifferent.
So Mr. Dragon has objected to the new amount. Nobody ever filed anything objecting to the old amount, so I guess I would assume through silence that he was okay with that amount. Are you okay maintaining the old amount, $88 per month?
I don't understand how child support is regulated as far as it goes by our difference in income.
Correct. Income and overnights. Your overnights are the same, so yours would come down basically to income. Yeah.
I feel like that I get penalized because I supply a good home. I work for a living, and the more money I make, then essentially I would have to relinquish more money in child support. I feel that I do a great job as being a parent. I've made a lot of sacrifices to be there and be a good father. I provide a good home for her. I look out for her medical needs and her educational needs. With the school being said, McKenna's got 11 unexcused absences, and 9 of those are not on my time. The year before, there was 9 excused absences. When we were virtual, I showed documentation that over 80% of the work was done on one of our device at our home for virtual school. And I feel like that I get penalized for lack of work ethic on her part, or wanting her to better herself for herself and her child. I know that she's got 2 other children from other fathers. I don't know what they pay or if they do at all. I just think that it's unfair and kind of one way that when I go out and provide for my child, make more money, then I'm subject to paying more money for someone that isn't going out there and trying to better herself.
Yeah. So, ma'am, when's the last time you did work?
2020.
Where did you work then?
I was working in Granville at a restaurant.
How long did you work there?
Like a year. And then COVID happened, and then I was off work because everything was shut down. And then I got pregnant with my 3rd child, and my whole world was turned upside down in that matter.
Okay. How much did you make? Oh, just answer the questions. How much did you make at that job in Granville?
I mean, it was less than minimum wage. It was, I don't remember exactly.
Were you a waitress or did
A bartender. Yeah.
Okay, so you had a low income, but then you relied on tips as well?
Yeah.
All right. You recall what you claimed when you filed your taxes for tax year 2020?
I believe it was like 12, 13 grand for the year.
And how much of the year did you work?
I worked all of 2019. 2020 though, only until March.
Okay, 2019, you worked the whole year, you made 12 or 13,000. How many hours a week were you working?
Only like 15.
Okay. What job did you work before that one?
I was at Jimmy's Roadhouse before that. It's always been a waitress job, restaurant.
How long did you work there?
That was about 2 years.
How many hours a week were you working there?
I was working about 20.
And I don't know, do you recall what you made those years?
About the same. I mean, I'm no more than 15.
So I guess Mr. Dragon, it makes a good point. I mean, what's preventing you at this time from working a full-time job?
Finding childcare. And can I point out that the past 2 years, Michael has left the state from July to September, and I've taken care of our daughter, and I've never said a word about it. I'm not trying to say that his child support needs to be upped, whatever, but like.
All right, so
I figured it out,
the overnights aren't truly equal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Sir, is that true?
My mom takes that time, my time when I'm gone in Wyoming, when Sam allows her that time. I have text messages from Samantha negotiating this, that I needed to make a financial decision to be able to go out and have steady employment. I'm a fishing guide. This is what I did before McKenna was born. I'm 17 years into my career right now. I work for a very reputable lodge and fly shop. I'm held to a high standard. McKenna also comes out there and visits so that she understands what I'm doing. I'm in contact with her when she is on my mother's time or my time at my household. I also reach out to Samantha during that time to make communications with her as well.
Okay, that's great. But we count overnights. And in the calculation, the old one and the new one, you've been given credit for 182 and a half overnights. That's half the year, okay? If you're not truly exercising 182 and a half overnights, you're already getting a benefit of being counted at more overnights than you actually exercise. If you're gone for 2 months and you would have had half of that time every other week, that's 30 overnights you're not exercising, regardless of if Ms. Miller or your parents do, those are actually parenting, that's time that you're not exercising, correct?
Yes.
And if she comes out with you for a week, that's great. And, you know, fundamentally, I don't care what you guys do as long as it's something you both agree to. I just have to come up with the most appropriate way to run support. Okay.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to govern what your practice actually is, but you've got Ms. Miller here who's entitled to receive some amount of support because she has less income than you, and that's just how the law works. And I've got you in both at 182 and a half overnights, but you actually leave for part of the year. But then she comes out for a week to stay with you, and she spends a little bit of that time with your parents and some with Ms. Miller. So I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what the facts are, regardless of what the order actually says, so I can make a fair and equitable determination of what support should be.
Yep.
And you know, you can take it up with your congressman or wherever you think you need to go if you don't think fundamentally you ought to pay support if you have half the time. But truly, A, you don't have half the time, and B, the support formula counts income and overnights, and the party who has more income, and trust me, I've assessed child support for plenty of moms as well. If they had more income in a split custody situation, doing this 20 years, it's gone both ways. And it's just how the law works.
Understandable.
Okay. I guess, ma'am, have you ever had a job that paid more than, you know, $15,000 a year or so?
I have not.
What did you do when the two of you were together up until 2015 or 16?
I was home with the children.
So you didn't work at all?
No. Now, can I ask, Miss Hummel said that she put me in at 40 hours a week minimum wage, correct?
Yep.
Even though I don't have income. So even if I was working 40 hours minimum wage, it would be.
It would be what?
It would be what her calculation is like.
Right. So you've been imputed at basically $21,000 a year.
Okay.
That's I think minimum wage is 1010 now, and that's times 40 hours for 52 weeks. Am I right on the minimum wage, Ms. Hummel? Is it 1010? All right. Well, considering all the variables that have been brought up, the fact that Ms. Miller is not working, but she's been imputed at minimum wage, 40 hours a week. She hasn't typically worked a job that even paid that much. However, she is capable of earning that, and keeping in mind that she didn't work at all while the parties were together. The parties at that time must have relied solely on Mr. Dragon's income, that the overnights have been put in as equal, although it turns out they're truly not 100% equal. I don't think that the recommended amount by front of the court is unreasonable or unjust, and that amount would be adopted effective February 1st, 2023. 209 support, 26 ordinary medical. Doesn't come close to meeting the threshold for concern, I'll call it, in relation to the percentage of Mr. Dragon's income that represents. So that amount would be adopted effective February 1st, 2023. You folks will get an order to that effect in the mail. It will have language in there on how to object within 21 days if either of you wishes to do so, and essentially appeal the matter and have the matter heard in front of the judge. All right?
Yes.
All right. Well,